Hello everyone, my name is Debbie Karirihara and ID number 191300132. Okay, now I will explain about development of curriculum in Indonesia, the model of curriculum and syllabus, and the comparison of curriculum Indonesia and America. The first about development of curriculum in Indonesia. Number 1, curriculum 1947. The first curriculum which was born during the freedom, they used the term leerplan, rencana pembelajaran, in the Dutch language means plan lesson. At the time, the curriculum in Indonesia is still influenced by the Dutch colonial educational system and Japan. So, the only forward who never used it before. Plan the stagnation curriculum lesson that 1947 was a replacement for the Dutch colonial education system because the atmosphere of national life was still in fighting spirit of the independence sees the development of education as comfort means more emphasis on the formation of human character of Indonesia independence of suffrage with other nations. Educational change of orientation of the Dutch education to the nation interests, established educational principle of Pancasila, the new 1947 plan lesson implemented in 1915 schools. The form contains two main things, that is a list of subject and hours of teaching and teaching online. 1947 plan priorities education lesson nature, state community awareness, the subject matter associated with daily events, attention to the arts and physical education. Number 2, curriculum 1952. Plan lesson after 1947. In 1952, the curriculum in Indonesia has improved. In 1952, it was named Plain Lesson Unrevealing 1952. This curriculum has led to a national education system. More details and syllabus subject is above. The most prominent characteristic features of the curriculum and at the same time 1952 is that each lesson plan must consider the content associated with everyday life. Next, number 3, curriculum 1964. The government returned the curriculum system in Indonesia. This time it was named Education Plan 1964. Principle of curriculum taught in 1964 that became a hallmark of this curriculum is the government has the desires to get the government has the desires to get people's academic knowledge for the debriefing at primary level. So, the learning is concentrated on programs Pancawardana, namely the development of moral, intellectual, emotional, and or artistic, craft, and psychical. The next, number 4, curriculum 1968. Curriculum 1968, the renewal of curriculum 1964. which does change the structure of the educational curriculum Pancawardhana. Pancasila soul into causing knowledge base and special skills. Curriculum 1968 is a manifestation of the change in orientation on the 1945 implementation of a genuine and consistent. Number 5. 5. Curriculum 1975. Curriculum 1975. In this curriculum using the approach procedure instructional system development or ITS to the achievement of specific goals which can be measured and formulated in the form of student behavior. In practice, many adopt behavioral psychology with an emphasis on the stimulus and responses exercises. The 1975 curriculum emphasizes the goal making education more efficient and effective. Methods, materials, and teaching purposes specified and in the procedure instructional system development or ITS. At this time, the technical term lesson units, each unit that subject lesson plan. Each unit more detailed lesson, namely general guidelines, specific instructional goals or ICT, the subject matter, learning tool, teaching and learning activities and evaluation. Number 6. Curriculum 1984. The curriculum 1975 is considered no longer compatible with the needs of the community and the demands of sciences and technology. In general, the basic curriculum 1975 changed to the curriculum 1984 are as follows. A. There is a class between the field of study curriculum materials with the ability of the student. B. There is a gap between the program and the implementation of the curriculum in schools. C. Too much curriculum content to be taught. D. Procurement of new courses such as in high school to meet the needs of the employment. Number 7. Curriculum 1994. The learning process emphasizes the theory of learning and less attention to the content of lesson. Curriculum 1994, created as the completion of Curriculum 1984 and accordances implemented with the law number 2 in 1989 about national education system. This change takes effect on the system of learning time, that is change of the semester to the quarter system. During the curriculum 1994 implementation appears some problems, mainly as a result of the tendency to approach content oriented, including the following. Number 8. Competency-Based Curriculum KBK. Government and business in the private sector to improve the quality of education, especially to improve student progress in various subjects continue to be done, such as completion curriculum, learning materials, and learning process. This is consistent with the contation by Sojadi, particularly in the subject of the mathematics, said that the activity levels of schooling in the mathematics is an activity that must be continuously reviewed and updated if necessary in order to match the student ability and environmental demands. Implementation of education in the school based on the asset curriculum. One of the innovation development in the form of government. To improve the quality of education is making innovation in field of curriculum. Curriculum 1994 need to be refined as legit responses to structural change in the government, can centralized the centralistic as a logical consequence the implementation of law. National education should be able to ensure equality of education opportunities, improving quality and relevance and efficiency of education management. Equate released the opportunity of education programs in 9 years compulsory education. Improvement of the quality of education is directed to improve the quality of Indonesia human through olah hati, olah pikir, olah rasa, and sport that have the competitiveness in facing global challenge. Increasing the relevance of education is intended to produce graduates with the appropriate change based on the needs of potential natural resources of Indonesia. Enriching the efficiency of education management is done through the implementation of school-based management and management of education is planned, effective, and sustainable. Number 9, school-based curriculum (KTSP) is a form of implementation of law no 20 of 2003 on national education system which are translated into a number of regulations, among others government regulation number 19 of 2025 on national education standards, government regulation and like needed 8 national education standards, namely 1. Content standards, 2. Process standards, 3. Competency standards, 4. Educational personnel standards, 5. Infrastructure standards, 6. Managerial and financial standards, and 7. Educational assessment standards. Number 10, 2030 curriculum is effect the extension of SBC in several components. The main purpose of this curriculum is to shape the individuals who are faithful in God. Good in character, confident, successful in learning, responsible, and positive contributor to the civilization. This regulation is elaborated by Educational and Culture Ministerial Regulation number 67 and 68. Okay, next I want to explain about the model of curriculum and syllabus. There are three curriculum design models: subject-centered, learning-centered, and problem-centered. Decide there are at least three keywords that can be identified is in the definition, namely objective, what student needs to achieve at the end of the educational program. Content courses are operated as a means to the desires and assessment. And assessment, a tool to measure whether the in intended goals have been achieved. The last about the comparison of curriculum Indonesia and America. The education system in Indonesia and America is very much different, where Indonesia is more concerned with final grades that a learning process, and America is more concerned with a process, because if he process is good, it will get good result too. Okay, that's all for the material, and thank you.